Welcome back to another video. We're about to go interview a guy by the name of Tucker. He actually owns the med spa right here behind me called North Valley Med Spa, and he is on track in 2024 to make over $1.2 million. And he just opened in 2023. We're gonna dive into how he built it from the ground up, how he hires everybody, how he gets his actual business. So make sure you stay till the end of the video. Tucker, I appreciate you having us, man.
Hey, thank you so much for coming in today.
Great to meet you.
Absolutely.
So you own a company called the North Valley Med Spa.
Yes, sir.
And you just moved into the location that we're in right now a couple months ago, right?
Just a couple months ago, yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. So you've been running the company. I know that in a minute we'll get into your story, how you got to this point. What exactly do you do and how did you get into the med spa?
So we are a full service med spa, everything from facials and peels. We have a diamond glow machine for our facials, Botox, dermal fillers. We do a two kind of option of weight loss programs. So we are utilizing semaglutides, trying to all encompass the aesthetics and the wellness portions. Not to mention all of our IV nutrition, so we can treat anything from like a mega immunity, so boosting your immunity properties, to hydrating our athletes that are getting into more of like our MMA athletes, weight cuts, getting ready for those big events. Couple really fun things that we get to do here in the med spa. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Were you always an entrepreneur? Like, how did you get into, because obviously, it's one thing to work in a med spa, it's another thing to own one, right?
Absolutely. I've been, I believe, an entrepreneur all my life. Ever since I came to this country, it's always been one of those, just kind of big dreams. You see the whole American dream, that the way that people live, and in contrast to different countries. Before this, I was a nurse specializing in pediatrics, in ICU, emergency medicine, and that was beautiful. I love the community that I served, but high pace, high stress all the time. I mean, the nursing burnout rate is a real thing.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the catalyst behind getting a med spa started. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, just in just a minute, we'll dive into, the numbers and how you got to where you're at, and, whether or not you get foot traffic, how you do your advertising, and we'll jump into all the details. So I'm excited to get on into it with you.
Yeah.
So in 2022, I read a statistic that 8,800 med spas actually did over $17.5 billion in revenue in the US alone. Med spas, I feel like, are popping up all over the place. Talk to me, like, how do you compete? How do you gain, the customer, right? What are you doing to separate yourself from everybody else?
I think overall, it's the approach of what you're bringing to the market. You can find Botox, you can find fillers that, like you said, they're popping up everywhere. So what kind of quality of product are they using? And then what kind of quality of injectors are they actually using, in the sense of like, how much experience do they have? Instead of focused on hey, what are they doing down the road? It's really, what can I do here for my community that is the best that we can do? So the products that we do, the trainings that we go through, how we staff, how we hire. I tell all of our injectors and all of our nurses, like, we're not salesmen.
Yeah.
We will come in, we'll educate you on what we can do, how we can do that. And then that, in a sense, really enhances what they're looking at, because now they're overall inspired, they're educated, and when they make the decision, it's in power and not just like a gimmicky kind of a sale.
What is the typical demographic of people who come into a med spa to get one of your services?
So I would say our avatar here, looking and doing our own research for this particular location, would be female, ranging anywhere from about mid-30s to about mid-50s. I know it's a little bit of a spread, but because of what we do offer here, I would say average kind of income, I would say anywhere from about 75 upwards in this direct area. But that's really where we try to gear our marketing, our advertising, and what we do overall, how we are, in a sense, branding ourselves for the actual market that we want to communicate and work with.
Yeah. What is your most popular service that you provide?
I'd definitely say the Botox and the fillers fly off the shelves. I mean, the IVs are basically, I would say, our bread and butter. They're just flowing all day. The tickets that I would say are more in demand, the Botox and the
Yeah.
fillers, for sure.
So you talk about, Botox and fillers being a highly, highly popular service,
Yes,
right?
sir.
What is the cost of doing something like that, the average cost?
Sure. So we do $12 a unit. Typically speaking, on average, someone is going to need anywhere from about 50 to 65 units of Botox for a full face. But I would say anywhere from about 600 to about 800 is our typical Botox kind of full face price. And then once we start tacking in and going over our dermal fillers, skincare products, it just kind of goes
Yeah.
up from there.
And do you offer any subscription or anything like that where people can?
Absolutely. So we have memberships. We have 4 different memberships. So if you're wanting to just come in and do like our Botox membership, that starts out as low as $20 a month. So you will get a really nice reduction of your Botox costs. So instead of $12 a unit, you go under $10 a unit for being a member of that.
$2,600 a year, you could go ahead and do the $225 a month, that upper end package.
Absolutely. And that on average saves you at least $7,000 a year as being a member for getting the services.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so we're standing here, and I actually just got a massage, and that is one heck of a massage. Let me tell you. I
Thank
don't
you.
like. Do you come in and do that every morning?
I do. I like to come in, I'll get my day kind of planned, do a little meditation,
go.
and just kind of use
Yeah.
the office equipment to kind of get me in the mood for the day.
Perks of being an entrepreneur, right here. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so how much does one of these chairs cost?
Each chair was about $4,000.
Wow.
And it comes with, I mean, I wanted to make sure I got all the bells and whistles with it. But yeah, each one was about 4,000. And it's just, I wanted to make sure we had the best on the market.
Sure.
Going into and just making sure for, what we're getting into, what does it look like to maintenance these, and just kind of doing full range, your own homework, right? As an entrepreneur, if you're going to pull a trigger and an expensive trigger, you want to do it confidently, right?
Yeah, for sure. You were doing like mobile med spa type services before, right?
I was.
Before you opened, obviously, where we're standing right now.
Yes, sir.
When you opened this, obviously, this is a really nice, facility you have here.
Thank you.
Did you just save your money over the years as an entrepreneur to be able to kind of get everything that you needed to start your own?
I did. So starting out as a single person unit, I really didn't have any overhead. I just kind of paid myself what I needed each month. And over the last now close to 3 years, just kind of building that up, rebranding myself to where then I can take everything that we were making and just kind of pay it off. I think that's one of the biggest things, as we were chatting about earlier. There's a lot of med spas that pop up. And if they can't do it with a huge amount of capital and they have huge loans and payments, it's going to be super difficult because there's competition on every corner.
Have you ever thought about having multiple locations? I know it's probably far out, but is that something you've thought about?
No, absolutely. This year is my goal to scale. I really want to get into franchising. So I have a couple meetings actually coming up at the end of this month to start educating me. As an entrepreneur, I can't say that I know everything about it. This is a brand new, bigger step for me. So meeting with people that do franchises, doing like an attorney that does all they do is the paperwork, in a sense, document for that. I want to learn as much as I can so that when I am sitting across from an opportunity, I can take maximum control of it.
There you go. It's all about who you know. I hope you're enjoying the business tour so far. Really quick, if you wouldn't mind, if you know of a business that you think would be a really cool tour, or if you own a business that you would like to get featured, all you have to do is text 480-418-5339, the word business, okay? Again, 480-418-5339, the word business, and we'll see if you qualify or if the business qualifies for us to go ahead and tour it. Now let's just go ahead and get back to the tour. So obviously you had experience, in the medical field, right, prior to opening a med spa. There might be somebody watching right now that is just business-minded, they're entrepreneur-minded, they're looking to start a company in a sector or a market where it's obviously going to be booming over the next, 10 years.
Sure.
What prerequisites or requirements does somebody have to open a med spa?
So in Arizona, at least, you have to have a medical director. So there has to be some type of medical direction. That would be like a physician or a nurse practitioner. That way you can actually get your medical supplies, your injectables, with that type of, like, in a sense, like a DEA license.
You have to partner with somebody almost.
There's going
that-
to have to
yeah.
be something, yeah. Whether it's your money kind of investing kind of partnership or your medical backing. Coming into this as an entrepreneur from startup to where we are, that being able to immerse myself into any facet that I needed to, training my oncoming nurses on how to do things, that's been very crucial for allowing me to control my overall spending, like my payroll, for example. If I have a call out, I don't have to contract somebody to come in to fill those appointments. I can just slide in.
How many total people do you have working for you right now?
So currently we have a staff of 10, and that is 8 nurses, and we do have 2 estheticians.
Oh, wow, incredible. And where are you finding like good employees?
So it kind of goes back into with our experience. I do have a lot of close friends that I still keep in contact with critical care. So either word of mouth, or just those clients that have come in. Some of them are nurses, loving what we're doing here, getting to meet and work with them. I would think most of our nurses that are on staff have come from that. Someone that's been into the med spa, loves what we're doing and wanting to be a part of it.
All right, so we're standing out here in front of the med spa, and I'm curious, in 2023, what were your rough gross revenue numbers?
So for 2023, we did just under 600 for the year.
Because you weren't even here yet.
No, we weren't even here. So
Wow.
with these numbers for this year, I truly see doubling that at least. Our memberships in themselves have gone ×3 from where we were last year. Having our own storefront with the additional square footage.
Sure.
Yeah, I absolutely seeing that double this year for sure.
1.2.
100, yeah.
2024.
That's what we're shooting for.
There you go. What do you think, big picture, a med spa of that size has the potential to do? There's obviously got to be some sort of cap, and then you start another location eventually. You think a place that size eventually could do 2-3 million a year?
Easy.
Yeah.
Oh, easy, yeah. I mean, once we have all of the modalities, so the skincare, the dermal fillers, the injectables, on top of everything else cruising, easily we could be pulling 2 to 3 a year.
So obviously you started out, when did you, by the way, get like into it initially, when you were doing like the mobile stuff? How long ago was that?
So that was about 3 years ago when I initially got into it, started my little mobile company, and that was just me kind of doing everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what was your initial investment? Just you to like get going?
Just my investment, a lot of it really, I mean, I had about $10,000 that I put in on my own money, and the rest of it was really just my own time. I really didn't make anything hardly, probably the first year, just because instead of taking out capital and putting it in, kind of goes back to what we were saying before, I could fill myself in as a nurse to do all of the modalities. Sure. So instead of paying myself and, making it big that first year, reinvesting that all into the business, lowering my overhead and still meeting all of my appointments. A lot of it, I had to believe in what I was doing and really immerse myself into it, regardless of what I was really bringing home each week, seeing that big picture.
Number one recommendation for somebody watching, maybe they want to get into business, entrepreneurship, they want to maybe start a med spa. What's like one mistake that you made that you would tell somebody else not to make?
Sure. Don't try blow up faster than you can. Really hone into each service and make that one service what that person goes home and tells another 5 to 6 people about. Especially in cosmetic injectables, you never want to rush it. And blowing up faster than you anticipate. Everybody, I think, as an entrepreneur loves that idea, but hone in on the quality of your service instead of the quantity of it.
Thank Thank you so much for watching the business tour with North Valley Med Spa. I'll put all of their information down in the description below. If you have any recommendations for any tours that we should do in the upcoming future, definitely comment down below, or you can reach out to Mojday in the description down below. Also, if you wouldn't mind, subscribe to the channel, check out some of my other content. I would greatly appreciate it, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.